Who really has the upper hand in modern warfare? The one with the best hardware, or the one who uses it smarter? In the war between Russia and Ukraine, the answer may lie not just in tanks and jets, but in how each side has embraced a much smaller, more agile threat: drones. These flying weapons have changed the way wars are fought. They're fast, cost-effective, and devastatingly precise. Both Russia and Ukraine have made drones a key part of their battlefield strategy, and both are desperately trying to protect themselves from them. But flying drones deep into enemy territory isn't easy. You need more than just a pilot and a joystick. You need infrastructure, like signal repeaters, to extend communication range and keep those UAVs flying where they're needed most. And in one strange and somewhat unexpected twist, Ukraine may have tried to hide one of those repeaters on a partially sunken ship. Let's break down what happened, why it matters, and how this highlights the fast-moving tech war happening behind the scenes of the front lines. On March 26, 2025, Russia's Ministry of Defense reported a rather unusual strike. A Kornet anti-tank guided missile, or ATGM, crew from the Dnieper group targeted and destroyed a Ukrainian signal repeater installed on a partially submerged ship near the Kinburn Spit, right at the entrance to the Dnieper estuary in the Black Sea. Now, this wasn't just a random electronic device sitting in the water. According to Russian sources, the repeater was a critical tool for extending the operational range of Ukrainian attack drones, especially those aimed at Russian positions in Kherson. The Kornet crew reportedly engaged the target from over 6,000 meters away, roughly 3.7 miles, then fired a second missile to ensure the device was completely destroyed. It's worth pausing here. Imagine using a high-precision anti-tank missile to destroy a piece of telecom equipment floating on a damaged ship. That alone tells us how high the stakes are in this drone warfare arms race. Signal repeaters might sound like something from a tech manual, but in drone warfare, they're absolutely critical. A repeater receives and retransmits signals, usually at a stronger power and over longer distances, helping drones maintain communication with their operators, especially in areas where direct signals can't reach. In Ukraine, FPV kamikaze drones have become a devastating weapon. They're cheap, fast, and able to strike vehicles, fortifications, or even personnel. But their range is limited by line of sight and signal strength. A repeater allows these drones to travel farther, stay in control longer, and strike deeper behind enemy lines. That's why placing a repeater on a partially sunken ship was actually a clever move. It offered a high, stable platform in a strategic location, without drawing too much attention. After all, who would suspect that a seemingly abandoned wreck in the water was actually a communications hub? Well, the Russians did. The Kornet missile system is usually meant for tanks and fortified positions, but this incident shows just how flexible and determined Russia has become in targeting Ukrainian drone infrastructure. Instead of chasing the drones, they're aiming to cut off their control systems before they can even launch. By taking out a repeater, Russian forces temporarily disrupt Ukraine's drone operations in that sector. Without a solid signal, drones can't go the distance, and that means fewer threats from the air, at least for a while. This approach aligns with a wider trend. Both Ukraine and Russia are increasingly hunting each other's drone teams, strike coordinators, and comm systems. Destroying just one repeater might seem like a small win, but it can create a critical gap in operations, especially during active engagements. Drones are no longer just support tools. They're frontline game changers. They're used for intelligence gathering, artillery spotting, direct attacks, psychological warfare, and more. They've proven especially effective in Ukraine, where terrain, speed, and flexibility matter more than just raw firepower. What makes drones so impactful is how cheap and scalable they are. Unlike manned aircraft, they don't require expensive training or high-risk deployments. They're launched in swarms, modified from commercial parts, and controlled with surprising sophistication. Russia knows this too. On April 18th, the Russian Ministry of Defense reported that FPV drone operators from the Yug group of forces destroyed a Kozak armored fighting vehicle and a pickup truck near Predtikino in the Donetsk region. On the same day, another team in Kherson took out a Ukrainian BMP-1 using similar drone tactics. These small-scale strikes are shaping big-picture outcomes, crippling logistics, grinding down vehicles, and forcing enemy movements. What we're seeing in Ukraine is a new kind of warfare. It's not just a battle of guns and armor, but of signal strength, innovation, and tech improvisation. One day, it's about outmaneuvering tanks. The next, it's about camouflaging a repeater in a sunken ship. Both Ukraine and Russia are constantly adapting, deploying smarter systems, experimenting with tactics, and trying to stay one step ahead of the other. But in this high-stakes chess match, even small wins, like knocking out a single signal repeater, can swing momentum in a given sector. For Ukraine, finding inventive ways to extend drone range is a necessity. For Russia, stopping that capability has become a top priority. And the tools both sides are using, from DIY drones to high-end missiles, show just how fast warfare is evolving in the 21st century. In the end, it's not just about who has the better drones. It's about who can use them smarter, protect their networks, and disrupt the other systems first. As both Ukraine and Russia race to refine their drone tactics and supporting infrastructure, one thing is clear. Modern warfare is now just as much about bandwidth and repeaters as it is about bullets and tanks. So here's the question. As drones become the most decisive force on the battlefield, is the future of war being shaped more by tech innovation than firepower? Let us know what you think in the comments. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.